Yesterday, we mapped out the AI career landscape and everything you need to begin. Today, we begin. For 14 episodes, we've been building our understanding. Today, that understanding becomes doing. Welcome to episode 15, the finale of the AI Explained series. Today, we build your first AI model together. Think of the last couple of weeks like this. We've been studying a cookbook, we've learned all about the ingredients, the cooking techniques, the science that makes everything work. Well, today, we're finally stepping into the kitchen. Building your first AI model is exactly the same. The code, that's our recipe. The data, those are our ingredients. You already get every single step, so let's get cooking. Okay, so our very first project is a classic. It's a rite of passage for pretty much everyone starting in data science. We are going to build a model that can look at the simple measurements of an iris flower, its sepal length, its petal width, things like that, and tell you exactly which species it is. This is the official hello world of machine learning, and it's our foundational first step together. All right, let's bring this recipe to life. We're going to walk through the code line by line, and you're about to see how every single concept we've covered in this series just clicks into place in a few simple steps. So, first things first, just like a chef lays out their knives and bowls, we import our code libraries. These are just pre-written packages that do all the heavy lifting for us. Then we load our ingredients, the iris flower dataset. We're basically getting everything prepped and ready on our digital countertop. It's as simple as that. Now, this next step is absolutely crucial. We have all our data, but we can't show all of it to our model while it's trying to learn. That would be like giving a student the exam questions and the answers before the test, right? So we split it. We use 80% of the data for training, but we keep 20% totally secret, locked away. This secret data, that's going to be our final exam. And this one step perfectly shows a huge concept from way back in episode 2. Remember when we talked about supervised learning? The goal was never for the AI to just memorize the answers. The goal is for it to generalize, to learn the deep patterns so it can make smart predictions on data it's never seen before. This whole train-test split, that's what forces real learning, not just memorization. Okay, our ingredients are prepped. Now we need to choose our chef, the learning algorithm itself. For this project, we're going to use a simple but really powerful model called a decision tree. And what's so cool about this is it takes us right back to our definition of AI from episode 1. We said AI is about computers learning rules from experience. Well, a decision tree does exactly that. It creates a series of simple if-then rules, like if the petal is this short, then it must be this species. It's building its own little decision-making flowchart all by itself. And now, this is it, the magic moment. This single line of code is where all 14 episodes of theory become reality. This is the instant the machine actually teaches itself. We handed our training data and the correct answers, and the model starts figuring out the patterns, learning the rules, all on its own. This is the heart and soul of supervised learning from episode 2, happening in one command. The learning is done. So, the big question is, did it actually work? We trained it, but how do we know it's any good? It's time to bring out that secret 20% of data we hid away. Let's give our model its final exam. It worked. Our model got an accuracy of 96.67%. Just let that sink in for a second. What this means is that on data it had never ever seen before, our simple model correctly identified the flower's species almost 97 times out of 100. That is the power of machine learning. In just a few lines of code, we created a system that can see a pattern and make incredibly accurate predictions. Let's make it even more real. We can feed it the measurements of a brand new flower it has zero history with. We just input the numbers and boom, the model instantly predicts it's a setosa. And it's right. In this moment, all that theory, from the definition of AI to supervised learning to how models work, it's all transformed into a practical working tool that's right in your hands. Look, building this first model is a huge deal, but it is not the end of the road, not even close. It's the starting line. It's the key that unlocks 1,000 new doors. So let's talk about which door you might want to open next. So where do you go from here? Well, if you loved the idea of supervised learning from episode 2, you can head over to Kaggle and try to predict who survived the Titanic. If our talk on neural networks in episode 3 got you excited, you can build an AI that recognizes handwritten digits. Or maybe you were fascinated by natural language processing back in episode 5. You can actually build a model that understands the sentiment of tweets in real time. Each of these projects builds directly on the foundation you've already laid right here in the series. Just think about this journey for a second. 15 episodes ago, you might not have even known what AI stood for. And today, You just built a working machine learning model from scratch. That is not a small thing. That is a massive leap. The AI revolution is not something happening to you. It is something you can be part of. You now have the knowledge. Go build something. And subscribe to SanskarSontakke because we are just getting started. See you in the next series.